تعيش وكالة غوث وتشغيل اللاجئين الفلسطينيين تحديا وجوديا لم تشهده من قبل نتيجة الحملة الإسرائيلية ضدها والحرب المستمرة وظروف الحرب الصعبة. حول هذا الموضوع يسرنا أن نستضيف هنا في الاستوديو المفوض العام لوكالة الأمم المتحدة لغوث وتشغيل اللاجئين الفلسطينيين الأونروا السيد فيليب لازاريني. أهلا بك سيد فيليب، شكرا لحضورك معنا هنا في الاستوديو.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me.
دعنا نبدأ بالتعريف بوكالة غوث وتشغيل اللاجئين الفلسطينيين، ظروف عمل هذه الوكالة، مسؤوليات هذه الوكالة والمناطق والدول التي تنتشر بها.
Yes, thank you. As you know, UNRWA is the agency taking care of the Palestinian refugees across the region, primarily in Lebanon, in Syria, in Jordan, in the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and also in Gaza. And we primarily focus on the human development of the Palestinian refugees by providing them education, but also providing them primary health care. Through education, you know that education is the only thing which has never been taken away from the Palestinian, and that's one of the reasons why hundreds of thousands of girls and boys cherish so much the access to the education being provided by UNRWA.
طيب، ماذا عن التعاون القائم بينكم وبين المملكة العربية السعودية؟ طبيعة هذا التعاون وكيف تصف أثر هذا التعاون والدعم المقدم من المملكة؟
Well, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has been a long-standing partner of the agency. In fact, is supporting the agency since its inception in 1951. We have a long-standing we are receiving political support, but we are also receiving important financial resources, allowing the agency to pursue and to deliver its services to the Palestinian refugees. For example, in the past, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has funded a number of schools to allow the agency to increase its capacity and to provide education to more children in the region.
طيب، لو نتحول إلى الأوضاع في غزة بحكم الظروف الصعبة التي تعيشها الوكالة، موظفي الوكالة في غزة منذ أكثر من عام ونصف العام، إسرائيل تفرض حصار خانق على قطاع غزة، تمنع دخول البضائع والمستلزمات الإنسانية الضرورية. هل تستخدم إسرائيل هذه المساعدات كسلاح ضد الفلسطينيين؟
Well, what we are witnessing in Gaza, it's a human tragedy. The war is going on now for almost 18 months. What we see is only destruction, hunger, and death, and people are moved like pinballs on a constant basis. And as you know, there is no safe place also in Gaza. There is nowhere for people to go to protect themselves for the ongoing military operation. So today, the Gaza that we see has nothing to do anymore with the Gaza we used to know before the war.
طيب، هذه الحرب الآن في غزة هي ربما من الحروب النادرة التي يتم فيها استهداف موظفي الأمم المتحدة، مقرات الأونروا كذلك. شهدنا أكثر من استهداف للوكالة، آخرها كان استهداف مبنى تابع لكم في جباليا. لماذا يتم تجاهل هذا الاستهداف المتعمد من قبل إسرائيل لموظفي الأمم المتحدة بشكل مستمر؟
You're right. I mean, there is a blatant disregard for international humanitarian laws. There is a blatant disregard for any rules of the war. Every red line have been crossed. And is it true that an agency like UNRWA has paid a heavy price? More than 280 of our staff have been killed since the beginning of the war. We have more than 2/3 of our premises who have been damaged or completely destroyed, and premises which were also sheltering thousands of people seeking the protection of the United Nations emblem. And we have also experienced constant hindrance of our operation, our convoys being denied to have access to the people most in need in Gaza. And beyond that, it's not only in the field, but the agency has also gone through fierce political and legislative attack aimed at discrediting the agency. As you know, there are today two laws adopted by the Israeli parliament, the Knesset, which one prevents the presence of UNRWA in occupied East Jerusalem, and the second one preventing, in fact, any contact between Israeli authorities and UNRWA staff. And despite all these these difficulties and hindrances, the agency continued to operate despite the hostile environment.
أحد هذه الصعوبات ما أقره الكنيست الإسرائيلي بحظر عمل الأونروا في أو داخل إسرائيل. إسرائيل اتهمت الأونروا أو بعض موظفي الأونروا بأنهم ضالعين في هجمات السابع من أكتوبر. ردكم على هذه الاتهامات؟
There have been allegations that some of our staff could have participated in the horrible attack of October 7. The agency and the United Nations have fully investigated each of these allegations, and at the end of July last year came to the conclusion that half of the staff incriminated there was not enough evidence or information available, and for the second half also that as long as the information cannot be authenticated or corroborated, we cannot conclude to this. But as an agency, we really take seriously any of the allegation, and whenever there is an allegation, we are asking for more information so that we can deal consequently. There is a zero tolerance within the organization for any staff who could participate in political activities or armed activities, but we know that there is no zero risk because of the environment in which we are.
طيب أشرتم إلى الدعم المقدم من السعودية. بالحديث عن ذلك الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية هي أكبر الداعمين للأونروا، أوقفت دعمها في أكثر من مناسبة أكثر من مرة للوكالة. هناك أكثر من دولة كذلك قررت يعني عدم منح الأونروا الأموال اللازمة. رأيكم في ذلك؟ كيف يؤثر ذلك على عملكم؟
Well, we desperately need funding. We turn to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and to the Gulf countries to support the agency going through an unprecedented financial crisis. Most of the donors have resumed their support to the agency, at the exception of the United States. But as you know, there is also a broader international financial crisis impacting all the UN agencies and international organizations. But I do believe it is important that an agency like ours remain afloat until the day there is a proper political solution. Because if we let UNRWA collapse today, this would be perceived by the Palestinians in general as an international community turning its back to their fate.
الحديث عن بديل للأونروا في الأراضي الفلسطينية تحديدا، هل هو مناسب من قبل هذه الدول التي يعني امتنعت عن تمويل الأونروا؟ الأونروا بخبرتها الواسعة بمعرفتها الكبيرة بالمنطقة، الحديث عن بديل لها هل هو مناسب الآن في ظل هذه الظروف؟
You know, supporting UNRWA means to support hundreds of thousands of girls and boys to continue their education. It means that millions of Palestinian refugees will continue to have access to primary health care. So yes, I do believe it is important that the agency be supported until the day there is a proper solution for the Palestinian question, until the day we have empowered Palestinian institutions who can take over the activity of the agency.
طيب ماذا عن سوريا سيد فيليب؟ يعني الوكالة تقدم خدماتها هناك لأكثر من 400 ألف لاجئ فلسطيني، بحسب التقارير أكثر من 90% منهم تحت خط الفقر، وبالتالي ما مدى اعتماد هؤلاء على مساعدتكم في الأونروا؟
You know, the future of Syria needs to be an inclusive and diverse Syria. The Palestinian refugees is one of the important minority in Syria, primarily depending on the support being provided by UNRWA. It is of utmost importance that our schools and access to primary health center, but also our employment activities continue to give a hope for a better future to this community, so that they can also better be included in the social economic landscape of the country.
طيب كيف تتعاملون أو تعاملتم مع هذا التحول السياسي الذي حدث في سوريا الأشهر الماضية؟ هل ساعدكم أكثر في التحرك في أداء يعني عملكم بشكل جيد؟
Well, there is a lot of hope with this transition taking place in Syria. I know that there are still a lot of open questions, but we need to give a chance. We need to give support, in fact, this new government of type of national unity, since the different segment of the society are represented in the new government. And we, as UNRWA, we will deliver our share. I will be going, in fact, to Damascus next week to discuss the future role of the organization.
إذا كان لكم من كلمة أخيرة حول يعني ما تواجهونه في الوكالة، ظروف دعمها كذلك، وما رسالتكم هنا من المملكة.
Well, more than ever, the agency needs the support of the countries of the region, of the people of the region. I think what the Palestinian people are going through is a tragedy. It's the worst tragedy since Nakba in '48, and more than ever, they need the solidarity. And UNRWA, in fact, can be the expression of the regional and international community solidarity vis-à-vis the Palestinians.
أنا أشكرك السيد فيليب لازاريني، المفوض العام لوكالة غوث وتشغيل اللاجئين الفلسطينيين الأونروا. شكرا جزيلا لك، شكرا لحضورك.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
شكرا.